Hey everybody, it's Kenneth again. Welcome back to the Shoegazer channel where we talk about effect pedals, exciting music gear, home production and more, all around the beautiful noise and otherworldly soundscapes. As we're talking about exciting music gear, I have here a super compact and smart MIDI controller by the company XSONIC. And this MIDI controller is called the Airstep because it allows you to send MIDI informations with Bluetooth. And not only this, it also comes with a smartphone app connected via Bluetooth. Choose the Airstep and then you can set it up. You can set up 5 presets. For every single stomp you have 8 different messages. You can press and hold, you can just push it, you can release it, you can toggle it. You can switch presets here using the function button. So it runs through 5 presets that you can set up here. So this is a very handy, intelligent and super practical MIDI controller. As this is no effect pedal or something like that, what will we do with this? I have good and bad news to all the Zoom MS pedal users out there. This controller makes it possible to control all your Zoom pedals. All the small ones, for example. That means you can use 5 different presets on your Zoom pedal and you can put them on every switch here and you go for it. Using the USB-C connection here. The bad news is if you are on a low budget, I'm not sure if this is the right MIDI device for you, but on the other hand, it's not that much money if it comes to all its functions that I want to talk about now. You can, for example, use this thing wirelessly connected via Bluetooth to your computer and you can control your YouTube videos. Let's say you want to learn guitar. You want to play the video, you want to stop it, you want to jump forward and backwards, you want to create a loop for a special section. The preset for YouTube is already available for you to choose on the smartphone app that comes for Apple and for Android devices as well. You can not only set it up very easily, you can also learn something about MIDI information, CC and PC. They are just different MIDI languages, but this device speaks them all. So you don't have to think about it actually. So also very useful for people who call themselves MIDI dump, as I call myself. Not anymore, but I was MIDI dump for a very long time. What makes this thing different? I tried out many MIDI controllers, especially the small ones, because I have a one-man project and I want to use complex sounds that I switch between, and I also want to use a looper. And sometimes I'm using a computer, sometimes I'm using a pedal board. To do this, I once bought this thing here. It's a very oldish, I think it's from 2012 or 13 or so by Keith McMillan. You can see here, this thing has actually no connections. There is a connection on it to connect it to your computer, but the rest is very complicated and doesn't make very much sense. You have to buy all the gear you need for this from this company. I don't like this. This is also why I don't use Apple. What I like about this, it's not just a simple MIDI controller, it has so many connections. You can send MIDI in. You can send MIDI information out to 2 devices at the same time. You have foot switch outputs to control the drive and clean channel of 2 amps at the same time. I tried this with my amp. I never had a foot switch for my amp. I never thought about using one because I have so many effect pedals. But with a TRS cable that I connect to the foot switch out and to my foot switch input on my amp, I can switch on and off. So cool. What's super interesting about this thing is that it's able to use Bluetooth. For Windows users, I really recommend to you guys to read the manual, because as soon as you read the manual, you will find out that you have to install a little plug-in on your computer that is called MIDI Berry. You can download it from the Microsoft Store. MIDI Berry is turning your Bluetooth information into a MIDI information. It recognizes the Airstep instantly, and if you also download another software that is called MIDI Loop, this MIDI Loop software will show up in your DAW and is also connected to MIDI Berry. So you can use these 2 softwares to create a MIDI connection to use this thing wirelessly in your DAW. What I want to do with you guys is I want to check it and I want to see if I can turn my computer into a looper. Maybe you have seen my latest video about painting musical ambient layers with effect pedals. I will do the exact same thing today. My whole sounds are just already prepared and I will just draw on my computer with Ableton Live using the Airstep as a looper. For my effects, I will use my HX Stomp XL by line 6. I run this pedal into my audio interface in stereo, and I will use the looper of Ableton Live and just a simple 808 beat. So let's do it and let's see how we can work with this one. Yeah, I connected it via Bluetooth. You just have to go into the setup section here of Ableton Live, and when I go to MIDI, you can see here I'm using the MIDI bud. I tried it many times with the loop MIDI, but the loop MIDI does not work so well, and I had audio problems and connection problems all the time. So I got myself a MIDI bud, which is a super small USB stick. It's an invisible cable, you could say. It recognizes the MIDI bud right away. And as I told you, here there is the MIDI Berry software. You just connect it to Airstep, MIDI bud, and the connection is made. That's everything. Now when I step on anything here, it gets the messages. In this preset I'm just using CC notes. That means I could also use these foot switches to play notes in Ableton Live. So the mapping is super easy. Click anything that you want to control. I want to start the beat with this button. I want to record the loop with this button. I want to make my loop half speed with this button. I want to reverse my loop with this button. We want to change the tempo with the expression pedal. I can open up it here and I can say, okay, the slowest tempo should be 70 BPM and the max tempo should be 80 BPM. Close it again. And I also want to stop the beat in the end, so I connect it to this switch. And remember, it's all Bluetooth. Okay, let me show you the simple beat that I have here. I also noticed when I put on some reverb, this is a convolution reverb to use the Lisa's MIDI verb dark and large room. I put it on to 98%. It sounds like this. I think this is super cool. It sounds very shoegazy right away. I didn't do anything here. I hope you don't mind. I'm only using one camera today. Actually, it's my mobile phone camera, so I won't be able to record myself while playing. But you will see my feet and the software. So I start the beat now. And now I will loop. Play some bass here. So let's change the tempo to see what happens.
exactly like a slowdive song. Sounds a little bit like the wobbling on a tape. So let's reverse. Nice, and half speed. Okay, let's stop this. Or as I said, I could also use the stomps here to play MIDI notes. I have here a synthesizer, some bass, here's also a little delay on it. Let me show you how this sounds. Super cool, and remember it's wireless, so this is actually very nice. When I play guitar I could actually support myself with bass notes. So you get the point. I also have a glide between two notes. In the Airstep app I can preset all these notes here. If you have the smaller version of the HX Stomp, you can use this to make an HX Stomp XL out of it, because you have 5 new stomps. You can use it as an extension. Let's say you want to switch banks and you want to have a tap function here, and you want to control 2 further effects, and the other 3 stomps on your pedal you can just use to switch effects or something like that. If you connect it via MIDI out to the MIDI in input of your effect pedal, it allows you to connect 2 further expression pedals, and together they are exactly as big as the HX Stomp XL. It's something you could think about. To be a little more inclusive, I also thought about disabled people or people who are not able to use their hands or their arms. This is also a very useful device if you want to control anything on your computer with your feet. Maybe this is also something to think about, because it's so handy, you can put it in your pocket and it's gone. So this is not specifically for musicians, you can use it for so many different areas in your life. This is the Airstep. Maybe it's interesting for you. If so, check out the link in my description below and give it a try if you're looking for something like this. Just let me know if you have any questions or recommendations, or just leave me something nice that I can smile about. I'm always happy to read from you guys. Also, a big thanks to my Patreon support. If you want to become a Shoegazer Squad member, you can hop onto my Patreon page. You can get Ableton Shoegaze templates or effect pedal presets for the HX Stomp XL or for the Zoom MS-70 CDR and MS-60B. Just do it and support this channel if you like what I'm doing. See you later.